because, I mean, otherwise there would be so many people believing in him.
Well, I don't read my Bible, because I don't think there's a lot of help in it, really. And I don't go to church unless I feel sad, in which case I do.
God's with us everywhere. When I look at the sky, look at that sky going on to infinity. Something far beyond me or any human being. Yes.
A lot of gas, I think, is up there at the moment.
Apart from the gas, I think there
It says in the Bible that he knows all the stars by name. That speaks to me of God's great power and his great glory. And when I look at the small, intricate things of nature, it speaks to me of how God has taken care of even the smallest manifestations of creation.
Good evening. Well, are we small manifestations of God's creation, as the man on the film said, or purely products of chance, who for their own comfort have invented the idea of God? To put it another way, did God create man or man create God? It's a choice everybody's got to make. This book, The Probability of God, that's just been published, makes the incredibly important assertion that modern science is beginning to reveal the existence of a creator God. Its author, Hugh Montefiore, the Bishop of Birmingham, is with us here tonight, and next to him we have Paul Davis, who's the Professor of Theoretical Physics at the University of Newcastle, and then on my left I'm joined by Professor Sir Freddie Eyre, philosopher and logician and well known to all of us, and on my far left Professor Sir Herman Bondi, Master of Churchill College, Cambridge, a renowned scientist and President of the British Humanist Association. We have with us as well a very distinguished audience, and we shall doubtless be hearing from them later on in the programme. But is a discussion on the nature and existence of God relevant today? We've already heard some of your comments, which we recorded when we took a stroll outside St. Paul's Cathedral. To our surprise, we found most people rather interested in the idea of God.
What's your God like?
Someone I can talk to when I'm feeling on my own, I suppose.
The way he's normally portrayed is as an individual, something in man's own image, and I don't believe that at all.
I think he's got a lot of value for a lot of people, especially for lonely people and old people, probably.
And for you too?
He's my sort of reserve when I'm on my own.
He's big, he's got a beard and long hair. Black long hair, yeah, black beard.
I don't think he is like a person, but he's just a voice.
I think he's great and he just helps you. And then in the night, sometimes in the dark you feel so scared, but then when you think of God, you don't feel scared anymore.
He's tall with a beard and he's just a great man.
So he looks a bit like you in some ways.
I do believe there is something that well, not exactly makes decisions for us, but knows more than we do.
Do you believe in a God?
No, only actually from the point of view that I do believe that there is a point beyond which people are unable to comprehend, and when that point is arrived at, then they encapsulate the whole thing in the concept of a God.
When I look around at the suffering in this world, then I don't believe there's a God. If there was a God, it wouldn't cause the suffering that there is in this world. Then again, I think of Ethiopia with the Live Aid concert, and maybe there is. To get all people together, to get money together for children, I think, yeah, there is. It's got to be.
Well, was our universe created by a God or not? Hugh Montefiore's book says yes, and takes a fresh look at natural theology, which, as far as I understand it, is the argument that says that you can perceive the existence of God directly from the evidence of nature, and that, of course, includes scientific evidence. Hugh Montefiore, couldn't it be argued that you are, in fact, trespassing on other people's patch?
Well, yes, you could argue anything, but I don't really see why we shouldn't reflect on what the scientists have said. I think people mix up science with the philosophy of science, that is, its meaning and interpretation. I really think anyone can have a go at that. I certainly have, and will continue to do so. I don't want to prove from the natural sciences that God exists. That I don't think can be done. But I do think we can now see that there's a high probability that this world is not a random occurrence. And that seems to me to say a very great deal.
Right. Herman Bondi, what do you actually feel about that? Because do you feel in any sense it's a misuse of science?
No, I wouldn't call it a misuse, and I was very much impressed by the book for its erudition and for its honesty. But I do think that the argument of this very good book leaves me stone cold. Not because I'm short of awe, not because I'm short of wonder. I feel our universe is wonderful and something to be awestruck by. What worries me is that this book will be taken by many people to prove Christianity, or at least to make it probable, or to prove or to make probable some other religion in which there is a revelation which makes people say, I know God's will. And that, to me, is a great source of evil.
No, well, I must come back here and say that all that you can do through natural theology is show the hunger in men and women's hearts for God's personal self-disclosure, which I believe that he has given us. And although terrible things have been done in the name of religion, I will agree with you, I also think that the most wonderful things have been done, and I'm always interested that people like you only mention the terrible things.
Not only.
Right. Earlier on, Paul Davis, I described you as Hugh Montefiore's scientific champion, and presumably you've got a considerable amount of sympathy with Hugh. Would you like to explain that a bit further?
Yes, perhaps I could summarize my own position before I begin.
Absolutely.
As being perhaps best described as an awestruck agnostic, which is to say that through my scientific investigations, I have become more and more impressed with the incredibly, stupendously intricate nature of the cosmos as we come to understand the universe in greater and greater detail. So it seems more and more remarkable that things have been arranged such that, in its broadest sense, the universe is self-aware. That is, that it permits the existence of intelligent observers such as ourselves. And it seems to me that this is not something which is inevitable, that the world could have been arranged differently, and that the fact that things have been arranged so that we can exist and observe the world, and that, moreover, our existence seems to depend very delicately upon the organization of the cosmos and the nature of the laws of physics. The fact that that is so seems to me a puzzle, and a puzzle that deserves an explanation. In other words, I would like to know why the world is the way it is. I can't accept it as a brute fact. I would like some sort of explanation.
Right. Freddie Eyre, I imagine that as far as you're concerned, we've been talking a whole lot of rubbish